Due to the nature of this program, listener aggression is advised.
Hey, I'm Carla. I'm Heidi. And we're the Butcher Babies.
This is Charlie Scene.
Yo, what's up? This is AJ from Fly from the Gods.
This is Rich Ward, the Duke of Metal from Fozzy.
Saddam Leader from In Search of Sun.
This is Beefcake the Mighty from Guam.
And Postulus Maximus.
Ahoy, this is Chris from Maelstrom.
Yo, what's up? This is J-Dog from Hollywood Undead.
Hi, this is Ash Costello from New Year's Day.
This is Tommy Vex from the Bad Wolves.
This is Joe from Dead.
Brutality!
And I tell you now to say fucking metal, yeah!
This is Matt from Super Bob, and you're listening to Honest Brutality.
I'd rather sell my soul to the devil than a man in a suit. At least his ass ain't gonna fucking lie to you. Do this, do that, next thing you know, you got a collar wrapped around your neck begging. So I go like I'm an animal, more like I'm a cannibal. So I supply the bowl like Captain Cutting Cantaloupe. That just made me salivate like a fat fuck. Loves a cake when he masturbates. You're too fucking radical, make me feel like Hannibal. I'ma systematically disassemble you in your dough. What the fuck? I can see you contemplating, put you on the back and try to buy a man that's entertaining.
Hey everybody, welcome to Honest Brutality. This is the show that is all things rock, metal, and stuff that doesn't suck. I am your host, Evil, and I am joined by the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Camera Rebel.
Hey guys, what's up?
And my other co-host, Big Sloppy.
Yeah, hey, thanks for the build-up, bitch.
Well, you know what? I think it's time that we let everybody know who they're fucking with.
Right?
And if you know what I'm saying here, we have on the line Mr. Matt Santoro from Super Bob. Matt, are you with us?
I am with you.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm kind of upset that I didn't get the wonderful, beautiful, amazing introduction that she got.
Welcome to my world, man. Welcome to my fucking world.
Do you want to redo, Matt? We can do it. We can do a redo.
I think you might need tits for that one.
Okay. Let's try it again. And the Superfly, Matt Santoro.
Okay, now that was too much. Now I feel like a WWE star.
Put the smackdown on him, Matt. Put the smackdown on him.
I got a feeling I'm not going to win this today. So, Matt, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. You're out on the road right now.
Actually, we had to cancel this weekend because our drummer got sick.
Oh, man, it's going around.
Freaking drummers.
Drummers are pussies, I swear to God.
Yeah, I tried to get him to push through it, but he actually ended up in the ER overnight. He's got a stomach virus and the flu, so we canceled some.
Yeah. Well, doctor's note.
Double threat right there. Dang.
Whatever, drummers are bitches.
I told you. Didn't I tell you?
God damn it. I'm a drummer.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
No,
hey, what
don't
do you call what do you call a guy that hangs out with musicians?
A drummer. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm writing that down.
So if you guys are out there listening right now and you've heard our new introduction for 2018, you may be familiar with Super Bob already because their song Cap'n Crunch, the chorus for that song is actually part of our new introduction, and we're so grateful to have it because it's an amazing goddamn intro.
If you like the word fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Around here? Yeah. Well, just in general, I got to tell you guys, we stumbled across you and we're blown away because it's a refreshing take on what's out there in the music world right now. So let's talk about Super Bob, how you guys came to be and what you're out there doing.
Okay. I guess I could start at the beginning. We're a rock and roll band from the DC area. We don't really believe in the current state of rock and roll music, so we try to make something a little different, and it just so happens we're a little different, so it works out for us. We've been traveling full-time as a touring independent band for about 7 years, making a living with no record label, no major management. We just recently signed with a real booking agency. Until now, we've done basically everything on our own.
Nice.
DIY, I love
Nothing
it.
wrong with that, actually, in today's day and age. It's probably the better way to go, really.
And we see a lot of it out there.
You get to keep all the money.
You know, that's exactly what Boba Flex said. Exactly what he said.
Marty McCoy had the exact same take on it. Yeah.
Marty's a good dude.
He is a good dude. And I think you've played with a bunch of people that we're familiar with, and I don't know how we didn't come across you sooner. we just recently talked to a band today that was touring with a lot of the bands that you've toured with. You've opened for a lot of major acts and had done support for them, including Breaking Benjamin, POD.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were talking with some guys here just a little bit ago called Discrepancies, and I didn't know if you guys had crossed paths.
We may have. I don't recognize the name. I just gave you a one-word answer, so I have to apologize. I was warned about that.
This man pays attention.
He's sharp. I like it.
Love it.
So I got to ask you, your manager, Chris, he's a great guy. I've really enjoyed talking to him. And apparently
Did you talk to him on the phone?
No, no.
You talked to him on the Oh, man. You have to. He sounds just like Joe Dirt.
Beautiful.
Seriously.
Oh, my God.
He's from South Carolina, and he sounds exactly like Joe Dirt.
Oh,
It's
God,
amazing.
I'm going to call him as soon as we're done.
Jesus Christ.
You should do an interview with him just so that you can share his Joe Dirtness with everybody.
That's amazing.
I thought it was really funny. You and I were having a conversation as we're setting this thing up, and the fact that he sent talking points and you weren't exactly thrilled with that.
I told him not to send talking points. It feels scripted, and I feel like enough in rock and roll is scripted and boring. So we try not to be scripted.
Yeah, same.
Right. Well, in his talking points, though, he did bring up the fact that you're scared shitless of aliens, and I wanted to touch on that.
Not scared of aliens. Adam and I, our guitar player, we have a theory that if you see an alien in your backyard, you have free reign to shoot it dead. And Adam and I agree that if aliens were to land in the backyard, we would just open fire. And it's kind of a question we use to profile people. What would you do? And Chris and Drew, our drummers, think that they would go outside and put their hand out and try to introduce themselves to the aliens. And Adam and I have the point that never in the history of the world has a more civilized civilization found a less civilized one and not instantly enslaved or conquered them. So we say open fire.
I love it.
I love it.
Very interesting. I knew E.T. was full of shit.
So what color of blood do they have when you open fire?
I have no idea, but I would open fire, no matter what they look like.
I've got this visual here of blood splatter. I'm seeing green.
Oh, God.
Now,
it could be green. Our drummer gets mad thinking that Adam or I would start some kind of intergalactic war by opening fire on the It actually gets to him, and he actually hates us for it.
Oh, my God. That is funny stuff.
So now you had said that you guys have been a full-time touring band for about 7 years now. So can you kind of go back in time for me and tell me about that moment when you guys decided to hit the road full time, and was it like a oh shit moment? Tell me about that experience.
We spent a lot of planning because we always knew we wanted to do this full time, and we also knew that we weren't the type of band that a record label is going to hop all over because we don't really fit with anybody.
Right.
So we spent about a year as just a local band in the DC area. Then we started touring regionally a little bit. And the 3 years preceding to going full-time, we did 100, 130, and 150 dates per year in those 3 years, basically for free. We got to where we were big enough at home that we could pull, 700 to 900 people on a $10 to $15 ticket, and we would use that pile of money to pay our expenses on the road.
Nice.
And that first year, we did it completely for free. The second year, we started making, $100 to $300 here and there. Then the third year, we started building a following in a lot of markets. So our guarantees went up to, where we were making close to between $500 to $1,000 on the weekends.
Right.
Still taking a lot of Wednesdays and Thursdays for free. That last year, probably 2 or 3 times a month where we'd go straight to work at our jobs, having not slept because we had taken a Wednesday night show in North or South Carolina or Pennsylvania, New York, and driven straight home to go to work. But we got it to the point where we could no longer expand while working full-time jobs.
Right.
So we just kind of kept touring until it got to the point where one by one our bosses came to us and said, you've been working for me for a long time and I love you, but it's either this or the band. And one by one we said, well, we're trying to go towards the band. So one by one we quit our jobs. And then we started touring 200 to 250 days a year.
Wow.
And since we were able to go further out, we started, taking same thing. We'd take a show for free on a Tuesday night in Iowa, and until we expanded to the point where we don't work anymore. We're not rich. We don't have a foot in radio or anything because we don't work with a label, but we are completely self-sustained. We don't have any investors. We don't take money from anybody. We make all the money we need.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Nice.
I love it. I love it.
I love the independence, man.
Yeah. They probably
It's a real
do
pain
too.
in the ass. We'd rather not be independent, but as well as I know, a lot of the guys that are all over radio, when they get off tour, they still live in their parents' basements. And
Right.
we're not interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I have kids in their 20s that still want to live in my basement. And I said, fuck that. Get a goddamn job.
Yeah, I mean, if it was an option, maybe I'd do it, but that wasn't an option for any of us.
There you go.
I think that independent sums up Super Bob as the best way to describe your music and everything about you. Being a three-piece band, you're unique looking, you're unique sounding. And from what I understand, I haven't had the opportunity to see you live myself, but I've talked to several people that have, and people that are actually established musicians. And everybody says that you are a refreshingly energetic and engaging live act.
We have a good time. We have a good time on stage.
So now, have you guys ever had any harm done to you on stage, jumping around and getting all crazy?
Yeah, I partially tore a tendon off my ankle on stage in the first song at an almost sold out 9:30 club in DC.
Oh my God. So what did you do? Tell me. I'm intrigued. The show must go on, huh?
Yeah, no, I finished the show on one foot, and I played about the next month and a half on one foot.
Man.
Do what you got to do. And we all have nagging injuries.
Yeah.
Our live show is a physical show. So with age come injuries and nagging things, arthritis in my neck, things like that.
Wow, that head banging.
Hey, I gotta, I've noticed, I've been listening to a lot of your music recently, because as Evil was saying, we just recently got turned on to you guys and your latest album. I'm listening to a lot of your songs, and what jumped out at me is you guys don't hold back. You go right after different things in like pop culture. I'm speaking specifically towards pop star and Hollywood, songs like that. You're going after it. I fucking love it, dude. No, I dig it. I totally dig it. You're not afraid to say what you mean. But the song that stuck out to me, and I wanted to ask you about this song specifically, was Chris Brown. Speak to that song a little bit for me. Tell everybody what that song's about.
Oh, Jesus. I guess I got to be completely honest. It's
Goddamn right you do.
It's the last song on the record because I feel like the song could have been better, and it was the last one we finished in studio. Mm-hmm. We needed the last song for the record, and I'm not completely happy with it. I've only sung it the one time that we recorded it, and we've never played it live. I feel like the verses are a little train wrecky, and the chorus could be stronger. But Chris Brown's a son of a bitch because he beats women, so I figured I'd drop a line in there.
There you go.
Hey, that first I saw the song was called Chris Brown. Like, what the? And then I was listening to the song, and you went after his ass. I fucking loved it.
He beat him,
squashed him verbally.
No, it was great. I mean, I know you don't sound like you're in love with this tune, but the way you went after him, you didn't hold back. And that's what I was talking about your band. You guys don't hold back. You speak your fucking mind. Yeah. And you went after this asshole. And I loved every second of it. You saying you're not happy with the song. I fucking love the song. I thought it was great.
It's a fun song. I feel like musically, had we had another week in studio, I could have torn it apart and made it a better song. But I feel like that about most of the songs. I usually keep rewriting a song until the guys and our producer tells me, okay, that's enough. This song's done now. Otherwise, I'd rewrite everything.
Yeah. Well, we are our worst critic, right?
Yeah. Are you a bit of a perfectionist?
Yep. No. With certain things in life, I am a perfectionist. Sometimes with music, you get to a point where you have written a song 7 or 8 times and you don't know what is up and what is down, and you lean on the band and the producer to tell you what's good and what's not good.
Right.
it's typically after the record's been out 2 months and I get a clear mind and I sit down and listen to it, and then the perfect line hits me, but it's already recorded, mastered, and released.
Like, damn it.
Yeah. So I'm saying you're not afraid to call people out, whatever. So on this latest album, you're talking about pop star, you're talking Hollywood, and in case we left anybody out after Father, you throw in the song Mister, where you addressed every fucking everybody else that's out there that hasn't been offended yet and said fuck them. Pretty much is where it's at.
Now, that record is not the newest one. That is the one before.
That's right. That's right. My bad. Yes.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I like to say things that are inflammatory when I can.
Hey, man, if you're speaking the truth, fuck it.
It's provocative.
Yeah, well, the truth.
Well,
I try.
I mean, you're not saying that that's not already out there, right?
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I'd like to, typically if I write a line that I go into the room and the guys go, I don't know if we can use that, then that's going to make the record.
It's got to be in there. It's got to be in there at that point.
That's perfect.
Because being in a band, it's the way that we write. It's not, you're not necessarily writing a song that you like that's for you. You're writing lines that make it through the room, that Drew, our drummer, likes, and Adam, the guitar player, likes, and Matt, the producer, likes. So, left to me, I would write an entire record of Father, dark, slow stuff. But,
right.
The guys have other tastes, so, you got to pick and choose what song to do where and how to get your lines past everybody so they get approval.
All the red tape.
We're very democratic in the way we write. There's no holds bar. If I write something that sucks, they will tell me, Matt, that sucks, and you kind of suck, so rewrite it.
Stop sucking, Matt.
They say it a lot meaner than that, but I don't really want to say what they actually say.
Well, Super Bob has had a bit of an evolution going through your discography and listening. You guys, you said, so you had mentioned in the beginning of our conversation that you didn't really care for what's going on in conventional rock, so you've developed this sound. Talk about that. Like, how did that come about, and what is the idea, the process, and why has the sound changed, or how has it changed?
Well, people ask me all the time, they listen to us and they assume that they know what our influences are musically, but I always tell them that, we sound a little bit like Rage Against the Machine, but that is not the band that I grew up idolizing. We don't actually sound like... My two favorite bands of all time are Zeppelin and Tool, and we sound nothing like either of them, and we never will.
Right.
And part of what I think is wrong with rock now is that, back in the 70s, rock and roll was the innovative genre of music. When something new came along, they integrated into their music. Jimi Hendrix started coming up with guitar effects, and everybody embraced it and loved him for it. Fast forward to the 2000s or 2010s, whatever the fuck they're called now, and if you come up with something new, the rock and roll purists say, oh no, we can't have that. You're only allowed to write about whiskey and strippers, and this is not rock and roll.
Right.
And here we are. I'm completely confused how that happened to rock, and I'm mad about it because you're no longer allowed to be yourself. You have to walk into Buckle and buy the outfit off the mannequin, and you have to talk about what you're told to talk about, and it's no longer about being fresh and unique. It's about fitting into this rock and roll mold, and I hate it.
Right.
It's funny you say that because it's not just the rock genre. Look at the country genre.
Yeah.
It's
country's even worse.
Dude, it's all cookie cutter. And even the hip hop where they're supposed to be edgy and whatever, it's all fucking cookie cutter.
A modern Motown machine for anybody who's on the the labels and what have you.
Yeah, the thing that I do respect about what hip hop and pop do is that when a new style of music comes around, they instantly use it. They put it right into their songs, and they try to be different. Country, they're not even using real drums in studio anymore.
God.
Country,
Right.
Country's even worse than rock. But I don't know enough about it to trash it. Maybe one day I'll learn.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Right.
Let's get your take.
You
How do you
shouldn't
really
play
feel?
country and wear makeup. How can you wear eyeliner and play country music?
Exactly, right? What the hell?
Yeah.
What?
And blue jeans with white stitching should never be worn on stage by anybody.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I love it.
So now you have a unique look yourself, which is absolutely amazing, and you have a lot of tattoos. So do you have a favorite tattoo that you have that you want to tell us about?
I don't know if I have a favorite one. I kind of look at the tattoos kind of like art. Adam and I, back before we started a band, we saw an interview with Travis Barker where he talked about that. He said that he got so many tattoos that he'd never be able to give up playing music. So we kind of liked that idea. So, when you're in a rock band, you meet tattoo artists and you get free tattoos. So you just get tattoos.
Absolutely.
I got a lot of them.
That's awesome. Sounds like you have an ankle biter over there. What kind of dog you have?
What?
I said it sounds like you have an ankle biter over there. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Pomeranian.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
that's metal.
It's metal as fuck, Sloppy.
Hey, wait a minute. You just put him in a pigeonhole.
I did. I did. That's very cookie cutter of
this
me.
guy that we're talking about, like you were saying, his look, you do have it is distinct, and I fucking love it.
I do too.
I love it when I see the braided pigtails and Superfly, that video. The first time I watched it, I was like, wow, this is so visually stunning. And you do it so deadpan that it totally works. Do you enjoy the video process?
Sometimes the video process is fun. Basically what we go for when we make a video is just to make something fun to look at.
Yeah.
Well, that one was fun to look at, by the way.
It is a lot of fun to look at. Every time we make a video, I get a text message from my sister that tells me that we need to stop sexualizing women.
Yeah, they're very provocative.
That one's very Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. So at times I do regret that, but we are just trying to make a video that looks different and is fun. Because that is a very fun song.
Well, yeah, and it's almost, maybe I'm wrong, but I took it as being satirical towards rock and the rock stereotypes.
Yeah, at times, yeah. We like to poke at stuff.
I would have never guessed.
No, me neither.
At all.
A lot of people, it's funny. A lot of people, the new record that we're working on now, I really went after it to the point where I'm not sure people will get that I'm being sarcastic, but we'll see.
Well, how so? Can you elaborate?
One song in particular, it's kind of weird to talk about a song that's not out, but it is, it's about the view that people have of our life. You ever see those memes on Facebook where it's like, what your mom thinks you do, what your friends think you do, what you really do?
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it's just poking fun at, people's perception of what our lives are, when actually I'm sitting in my backyard in Florida with a Pomeranian talking to you on the phone.
Right. It's amazing.
Well, you guys have a very professional approach to your touring.
Yes. Yeah, we play a lot.
Well, not only do you play a lot, but from what I understand, you guys are pros to work with, and you take it very seriously, and you keep the partying to a minimum, and you take care of yourselves.
Yeah, you have to, you can't continue to play music if you run your body into the ground.
Right. And
so, at least on our level, we're loading our gear. I'm the singer, I'm the tour manager, I'm the merch guy. We split up the driving. So if I was out there every night taking every drink everybody hands me, wouldn't last a week, much less 200 to 250 dates a year for 7 years.
Right, absolutely. And then also partying is very hard on your vocals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My two most important things on the road are sleep and water.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And is it warm water?
I try to drink room temperature water, but if somebody hands me a cold water, I'm not saying, no, go get me room temperature. I'll drink it.
Warm it up.
So now do you have like a pre-show ritual with your vocals, warming them up?
Yeah, I warm up for about an hour. Yeah. I actually do it behind the merch table while the other bands are playing. I don't go sit in the van and sing scales. I have just a normal warm-up. Start in the low register, work my way up, stretch my neck, stretch my major muscle groups.
Right.
But yeah, I can't walk on stage cold. In fact, one time, we were working with a different booking agent who booked us a show in Texas. I don't remember what town, but it was a clusterfuck. The whole show was just kind of dead from the start. We get there, and the guy at the last minute decides that, no, we're not headlining, we're opening for a cover band. So he sends his manager up to me to tell me that we need to go on stage right now. So I looked at the guy and I said, I was told we were going at midnight. It is 8:30. I need at least 20 minutes to warm up. I can't go on stage cold.
Right.
So he comes back about 5 minutes later and he said, the owner has never heard of anybody having to warm up to go on stage, so he just wants you to leave. So I said, you tell the owner to come over here and tell me that himself. Every professional singer warms up before they play.
Right.
But at that point, he handed me the money, so we took the money, we loaded up, and we left.
Wow. In that case, yeah.
Warmed up in the van. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Whatever. I got extra sleep that night. We were at the hotel at midnight instead of 5.
Dire Straits had it right, man. Money for nothing.
So now what's your van's name?
I don't think we named this van, actually.
What?
Come
You call yourself a rock band?
Yeah, no, this is the first van we've never named. Our last van was named the Diesel after John Riggins because it was a diesel van.
Nice.
And the one between that, the one before that was named Howard. as in the Lord's Prayer, Howard be thy name.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That is amazing. I love it.
I love it when the vans have a name like Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would have to ask the guys. I don't know if we ever named the new one.
I keep suggesting Little Sloppy, but nobody's taken me up on it yet, so you can call it Little Sloppy.
Yeah, I think that's a no.
That laugh, though, laugh was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Help a brother out.
Maybe. I got to run it by the guys. We're a democracy.
So do you have any other talents other than, your talent with the band? Like, do you have any hobbies that you like to do or anything? Tell us about you tell us about you as an individual away from the band.
Well, I mean, my hobby turned into my job, so I still spend a lot of time writing. Because when you boil it all down, if I don't write songs, we don't have a career.
Right.
So
right.
I spend a lot of time writing. Other than that, I am probably the most lame person in a rock band ever. When we're home, I'll tell you what I was actually doing when you texted me to remind me it was Saturday. I was working on stripping and redoing a bookshelf.
Oh,
that sounds like fun.
Pomeranians and stripping bookshelf. You are a metal motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
You're jealous because he reads.
And beyond that, I play video games. Basically,
That's awesome.
My girlfriend will come home from work and my eyes will be bloodshot red because I haven't blinked in about 8 hours. And up until about a month ago, I did all of our booking. So since we're transitioning to a new booking agent, a guy we've known for a long time who's with Artery Global, I guess my hobby would be talking to him on the phone, giving him our contacts, routing tours, advancing shows, updating the Facebook and Instagram. Basically, the music is all encompassing. Not much time for anything else, and when I do have time, I play video games.
Sloppy had, touched on the point that, a lot of your songs and lyrics and everything are just straight ahead. You're not holding anything back. They're provocative, that sort of thing. So here's a good question for you. What is your most annoying thing in the music industry? Like, what is the one thing that you look at and you go, you know why? This is a bunch of freaking bullshit.
Oh, I really shouldn't say
yes, you
all
should.
This stuff on the radio, but to me the most is being in a rock band used to be about talent and songwriting, and now it's about whose parents have the most money to invest in their rich son's band. The buy-ons is the thing that gets to me the most. The fact that a band like us, who is a proven commodity that we can make money, until recently, we couldn't even get a booking agency to call us back. We can't get a call back from a record label or a manager because why would they work on a band to get 10 or 20% of a full-time touring band when they can just go sign some band from the middle of the country whose parents are willing to invest $1 million a year.
Right.
You know, they'll take 10% of the buy-on fee rather than take 10% of the guarantee. It makes their job a lot easier. They don't have to worry about putting tours together. They just say, hey, these guys are willing to pay you $600 a night to be on tour. They take a percentage of it. Boom, opportunity's gone for guys like us.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It basically boils down to being lazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Lazy, and everybody's scared to get fired. You know, you take a flyer on the wrong band nowadays, you don't have a job anymore.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
true.
Thank you. I appreciate the honesty.
No problem. And the most annoying thing about the buy-ons is that the people that go to shows, I know people that go to 50 to 100 shows a year every festival. They have no idea that every band they just watched paid for the opportunity to play that show.
Right.
So then they look at us like, why aren't you guys doing this stuff? Well, because I wasn't willing to pay $3,000 to play that show today.
Right.
Yeah, the one
So
that you just paid
they don't
$150 for a ticket for.
Yeah, and they don't understand that these guys are out there buying up our opportunity, and in the long run, they're really hurting the music scene.
Yeah.
Because bands that are working and are willing and ready for opportunities don't get the opportunities because people purchase the opportunity when they're not even ready to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Wonderful insight. Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah.
That's really refreshing. And that's what our show is all about.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is, you know, the nitty gritty truth, especially from working bands, like you said, that are a proven commodity out there,
right,
grinding out as many shows as you guys are. You guys are a hard-working band. I mean, you're not just kind of going out willy-nilly and doing some shows and putting out some EPs. You guys are cranking out albums, quality albums, and playing a lot of material.
We try.
What's the future look like? You said you're working on a new album.
Yeah, we're probably about 60 to 65% done with the record. We released a brand new song about 2 months ago. Sadly, right before we released the song, we recorded two that blow it out of the fucking water. So we kind of did like a soft, here's a new song thing with not a lot of promo. We're trying to get back in the studio to finish up two songs that are probably the two best songs we've ever recorded. We're very excited about them. So the future for us is to release another record, continue to tour, and try to continue to build our team so that we can get bigger.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you guys are on the right path. I think that the general public's ready for it. They just need to be exposed to it.
Well, we'll see if the public's ready. We released Superfly. That record, the self-titled Superbad record, was Superfly. That came out about 6 years before Korn worked with Skrillex and put the electronics into rock. So we were way too far ahead of the game putting that music in. When we started incorporating dubstep into rock and roll music, the only artist that we had ever heard of was Rusko, which was one of the first to come over from England with that style of music.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're not doing any dubstep of it anymore. We're just doing different kinds of electronics. So we'll see. I assume we'll push the envelope too far and it won't be relatable again.
Ahead of the curve. Well, so
yeah.
Who does all of that in the band? Who's responsible for the digital part of the music?
Initially, it was our producer, Matt LaPlante. We won some stupid battle of the bands in the Carolinas years ago. And with it came a weekend of free recording with this guy. So we had just released a record and we're like, you know what, fuck it, let's go meet this guy. So we went down, we recorded two songs, and one of those songs was Hollywood, which at the time was probably our best song. So we did a whole record with him, we did a whole nother record with him, and we're about 65% of the way through the third record with him. And initially it was him creating all the sounds. He introduced us to the electronic music. Adam, our guitar player, took a liking to it, started listening nonstop. Drew, our drum player, does Pro Tools, all that stuff. So he makes a lot of the sounds on his computer, and Adam makes a lot of the sounds in his head, brings his guitar into Matt, and then they turn the guitar sounds into those really weird synths.
Gotcha.
So most of the electronics are born from the guitar, and then the really synthy synths, Drew comes up with this on his computer, or Matt comes up with on his computer. But then we also rebuild a lot of the synth with guitar, and then put them back into the song.
Quite the process.
Yeah, reverse sampling and whatnot. Yeah.
And that was some pretty heavy tech talk with synthy synths.
Yeah.
You know, that might be a little deep for some people.
For you.
Just for you.
Synthy
Yeah,
synths.
yeah.
The rest of us got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of came up with that one. I didn't know the word for it, so I made one up.
I dig it. I totally dig it. Awesome.
You said that one of your hobbies was video games. Just for shits and gigs, what games are you playing and what's your gamer name?
Ah, fuck, you're going to make me look bad now. I like the nerd games. Yeah, I like a nice game that you can put 200 hours of gameplay in. So I just finished Witcher 3 on Xbox One. Dog on Xbox One. Our tag is Super Bob Matt, which is...
I'm gonna sick my sons on you.
Okay. I try not to play online too much.
Me either. I actually
when
don't
I do
get
play
it.
online, I all it takes is about 2 hours playing GTA 5 online, and you never want to play online again.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I guess I'm just old school because if I ever sit down and play, and when I do, I'd rather do stuff that's like campaign stuff and it's, environmental and puzzles and that kind of thing. And I'm perfectly happy. My kids, they're like, you don't have this thing connected to the online, so I can't play with it. I'm like, so what? Yeah. Everything they touch is a first person shooter.
Yeah.
Dude, all that stuff's so beyond me now.
Yeah.
I swear to God, back when I was a kid,
Once
we had a yellow ball that ate fucking dots. That was our game back in the day. All right.
Yeah, you
and
played
fruit. And ate
Atari
fruit too. So
he went down to the local video store and rented an Atari for $3
we didn't
an
rent
hour.
shit. We went to a fucking arcade and dropped quarters all day. That's what we did.
I love how advanced the new games are. I like when you sit down, play a game, and it takes you 20 hours just to learn everything that's going on. I like that. What I hate about playing online is are you in LA?
Oh no, we're actually in Northern California, so we're about
Northern California.
Yeah, 10 hours from.
We have two words for that. Fuck LA. That's
Okay. Yeah. We've got a song like that. But playing online reminds me of sitting in DC rush hour traffic, where the guy that just fucking cut you off won't glance in your direction because he just wants to be a badass sitting there by himself, but he's not the type of person that would ever confront you in real life.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about playing online.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of punk ass motherfuckers that want to talk shit online because they know that you'll never find them.
Yeah.
So I just play with no microphone, or I don't play at all.
Fucking trolls.
Right.
Yeah, just a bunch of spineless bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a song there, dude.
The guys would kill me if I tried to get a song about online video games.
You just disguise it, call it punk ass bitches, and they'll be on board.
Make it ambiguous. They'll never hear this podcast anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true. They'd see right through it and laugh me out of the room, and then I'd have to write the song again.
You've been doing this a while now, and you decided to make it a career. If you had advice for a young you, what would it be?
Oh, shit. Am I being honest, or do you want, the normal answer?
No, we want fucking...
honest,
this is
dude.
honest brutality.
Yeah.
Do we need to go back and have the conversation we had before I started rolling the recording? You already said yeah.
Yeah. Advice to young me, focus on songwriting. I might tell young me to just go ahead and not pursue a career in music, because it isn't like any other career out there. Most careers there's a set path. You get a degree in this, you intern here, you do this, you end up with this, you'll retire by age X. With music, it's such a changing landscape that there is really no way to tell if anybody's going to make it unless they sound exactly like Led Zeppelin. It's like what's going on in music right now. It's so goddamn unpredictable. I'd probably tell them, don't start a band, be a rapper, or learn to sing better and pursue pop music, because rock and roll, the dream we grew up envisioning does not exist anymore. So it's a very interesting life to live, pursuing something that isn't actually real anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I just don't know how we can change that landscape, because that to me, I will never give up in believing that dream is out there,
Obviously, neither will I. But if a 17-year-old kid came up to me today and asked me, should I pursue a career in rock and roll music, I would ask him how much money his parents are willing to give him. And if it wasn't over 7 figures, I'd tell him, no, don't pursue it. Go do something else.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Was that too honest?
No. It's actually it's mind blowing. It's really mind blowing because we actually see some of that. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: you're doing what you love still, right? Is this not what you love?
Oh yeah, I love writing music. I love being on stage. Occasionally, it is like pulling teeth to sit in a club for 7 hours behind the merch table when you've been to that club 7 times. But that's just a product of the fact that we've been independent so long. You hit a lot of the same places. Right. And that is changing with our new booking agency with a lot of new markets. When I was booking shows, it was basically, I would sit down with a map and I would text a bunch of club owners and say, hey, do you have the date open? And they'd say, yes. I'd say, same guarantee. And they'd say, yes. And that was it. Show was confirmed. Now working with a legitimate booking agency, we'll play more new markets in February and March than we've played in the last 2 years. So that monotony will kind of disappear.
Good.
Just because of that. But the monotony of sitting in clubs and driving is not fun. But playing shows and writing songs is as fun or more fun than it ever was. So I do still love our career. I would like to make more money at it, but I do love it.
I don't know if there's a career out there where people would like to make more money at what they do. But do you still get the same thrill, though, when you hit a stage, especially in a new market, you hit that stage and you still get the same thrill as you did 20 years ago?
Oh, fuck yeah. More so now because I'm aware of the situation. Back in the day when we started playing, you didn't really know all that you know now. So now when we get on stage, I know what's going to happen. I know for the first 2 songs, these people have never seen us play. They're going to stare at us and wonder if they're allowed to like us because we sound nothing like the bands we're playing with.
Right.
And then, the next 3 songs, they're really into it. And then by the last song, they're jumping when I ask them to jump. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that is actually, you just talked about an evolution of a show, the way it starts and evolves from beginning to end. That has got to be just a kick-ass feeling by the end where you got them fucking like putty in your hand, right?
It's pretty cool. We are a unique live show, so every time we walk on stage in front of a crowd that hasn't seen us, you kind of know what to expect because they, not to sound like an egotistical asshole, but they've never really seen anything like us. The last time, bands aren't about live show anymore, so when we walk into a club that's filled with people between the age of 20 and 35, they don't remember what it was like to see a good live band because the good live bands were back in the 90s. And now it's about, again, shouldn't say it, but a lot of time it's about the guitar player making sure his hair is in the right position rather than putting on a good show.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
We'll go down that fucking road. We'll be there for a while. So, hey, have you guys played outside of the U.S.?
No, we did our first full-length record in Vancouver, British Columbia, but beyond that, we have not played outside of the country.
I was just curious because I think if you guys were to make it over to Europe the way that market's going right now, you guys would probably kill it over there too.
People have been telling us that for years. I've been told that Europe is more accepting of things that are different, which wouldn't surprise me since, America's basically the 50s again.
So. Yeah, no, actually, good point.
Cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Well, even with us, we find that being an internet-based digital media, we find that one of our biggest fan bases and followers are in the UK, in the European countries.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, if anybody over there is listening, hit us up. I would love to abandon America for a little while.
We got some people that can help you over there, I'm sure.
Talk to some folks. New markets with the new booking agency, are you going to be doing any West Coast stuff? I know you guys run up and down the East Coast and the Midwest. You going to do anything out on the West?
We don't have anything planned in the West yet. Right now we're booked through February, March, and we're booking in April now, and we're focusing on May, hopping on tour. Again, the booking agency is opening a lot of doors. The agent gets things across his desk that we've never had access to before, as far as X band looking for support from X date till X date. So we're going to start submitting for a lot of tours and hopefully get closer out there. I'm not sure we're ready to take the plunge to the West Coast because as of right now, we're expanded all the way from the East Coast out to New Mexico, Colorado, the Dakotas.
You're damn close.
Yeah, and it's already too many markets to keep. You know, the reality of our situation is we're not on the radio, so if we don't play a town every 3 or 4 months, people completely forget about us, and we're starting from scratch again. So we like to keep a rotation to where we can get from town to town quick enough that people don't forget. And the country is fucking big. So
But we do notice that a lot of bands concentrate on the middle of the country. The Midwest really gets a lot of business back there.
Yes,
we mentioned,
does.
We mentioned Bobaflex earlier. That's kind of where they concentrate because they know they're going to get the work.
Yeah, the Midwest. A lot of bands do really rely on the Midwest. The Midwest, as far as their musical taste, is like they still like the shit from the '80s. You know, it's a very safe place to play. The people there are very nice. It's very like. All the clubs feel like family oriented. They'll give you food. They'll give you a place to stay. It's a nice area to play. And a lot of styles of music don't work everywhere in the country, and rock and roll still works in the middle of the country, in the Midwest.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of venues, and I think there's also a short distance between them. So that's another big factor.
Yeah. Well, plus it's pretty safe to play up there in the wintertime because they're not canceling a show if it's 20 below and there's a foot of snow on the ground. You know, you play in North Carolina in January and there's a threat of it reaching 36 degrees and they're going to cancel the show.
Right.
That's good stuff.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything that we didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we're good. I didn't give any shitty one-word answers by accident, did I?
Nah, you're okay.
Let me think.
So I have a really quick question for you. What kind of vape mod you using?
Ah, shit, you can hear me vaping.
And what kind of
now I sound really cool.
And what kind of flavors do you like?
Yeah, I'm sitting here vaping with my Pomeranian, getting ready to go back and play a video game.
Let me guess, fruity
no one's
flavors?
ever come to a show again. No, I'm actually using a Sigelli 150 with an Apocalypse dripper on it, and I'm vaping Custard.
Nice.
Made by a company in our hometown of DC. It's called Clean's Custard, and it's made by Six Shot Vapes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm surrounded by vapors, so
3 milligrams or 6?
3. 3.
Six will blow your face
kill
off.
me on this. Yeah.
That's
amazing. I
amazing.
quit smoking about 7 years ago. I collapsed a lung and had to go to the hospital.
Wow.
So I haven't had a cigarette since. Yeah, it wasn't due to smoking, but when my lung collapsed, I was lucky enough to be home in Fairfax, Virginia at the time. So the cardiovascular unit I went to at Fairfax Inova is one of the top 3 in the country. So the guy that was looking at the whatever they were, CAT scans of my lungs, was the guy at the time that invented the current surgery they use to fix a collapsed lung. So he looked at my lungs and he told me, if you continue to smoking, you're going to have emphysema by 40. He said, if you quit smoking today, you'll probably won't get emphysema until you're 80 or 90. So I quit smoking.
Nice.
Didn't want to, still miss it, but I don't smoke anymore.
Good for
Just
you.
vape.
Good for you.
Not really. I didn't have a choice. I'm a singer. Emphysema doesn't really work.
Right.
That's bad for you. Well, that's cool.
Yep.
Man.
All right. This has been Matt Santoro from Super Bob. Thank you so much again for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I hope you had a good time.
I did. I had a very good time.
Good.
Greatest interview you've ever been a part of?
I'd say
Wrong answer, motherfucker. Wrong fucking answer.
Hey, Matt, for the listening audience, where can they find Super Bob's music, and how can they reach out to the band and or book the band?
The easiest way to find us is to Google Super Bob, 2 words, or go to facebook.com/SuperBobMusic, ReverbNation.com/SuperBobMusic, Twitter.com/SuperBobMusic, Instagram.com/SuperBobMusic. Or send me an email, superbobmatt@gmail.com. We're pretty easy to find on the line.
All right, get out there and get you some Super Bob. Motherfucking Super Bob. Right?
That was amazing.
Matt is a cool dude.
I just love how honest he was and with the music scene and everything.
Absolutely. It was very refreshing.
He's goddamn Superfly.
He is goddamn Superfly.
Now, I just want to make this comment, and I was going to make it while he was on the phone because I don't think he would have taken offense, but he sounds nothing like he looks.
It's true.
In talking to him.
That's very true.
Well, what do you think that he would sound like if you...
Like, I'm going along the whole appearance thing that we had, the whole theme of this show. And if you look at him in his photographs and in the videos and you hear his lyrics, you would expect him to be a little more aggressive and gruff and, you know, that sort of an attitude. And here's this well-spoken, intelligent, soft-spoken guy. You know, it's never what you expect.
Very Dennis Clements is what he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful thing, actually. He's a great guy, great guest, well-spoken, intelligent, worked very hard to get where he's at. Mm-hmm. It's just, it caught me off guard because I expected him to be more like, woohoo! You know, like...
Well, it's one of those things, too, is a few points that, I mean, it definitely was not just a few points, but a lot of the conversation, him bringing up the fact that they were DIY for so many years and they've gotten this far. And I just think that for him to speak the truth on that for he and Super Bob, I think that lends legitimacy to the fact that you can be out there and do DIY. So all those bands out there, they're listening right now. Yeah. You guys got this.
Yeah, you do. You got this. And there's outlets like ourselves. We're not the only ones. We like to think we're the best at what we do as far as helping the unsigned artists and the DIY artists. Yeah. And, you know, that's why people listen, because they're going to hear great acts that are out there working their ass off.
Right.
And those are the people that we need to be supporting. Not that the major artists didn't work hard to get there, but there's guys like that who have made a career out of doing it and doing it on their own.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the most important things you can support. Get out and see a show. Get off your ass. Do yourself a favor. Let's get this music scene ramped back up. Get out there. Get some Super Bob. Go over on their socials, like them, tell them that we sent you. This has been Honest Brutality. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already checked us out on honestbrutality.com, do so. Check us out on our socials. We're on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. We appreciate you so much. Be good people. Take care of one another. And most importantly, stay metal!
Stay metal.
This is Matt from Super Bob. You're listening to Superfly on Honest Brutality.
Never fail to fuck up a good day. I run away sometimes and I know that I never needed anybody's help to live my life like I'm running from the cops. So I'm unstoppable, I'm impossible. I broke beatboard on the back shelf, waiting for the shit to sell. So such a big goddamn mouth. I don't need you to prove to me I can never lose. I'll be like a breeze come through, gonna fuck up a crowd and bounce around in the town down the street. You've been recently unfurled and you let all that grease snatch up the best of you. Take a little bit of something fresh, take a little bit of this. I'm goddamn Superfly. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no money, but they treat me like I'm famous. Goddamn Superfly. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no money, but they treat me like I'm famous. You might not know. Sit back and watch me go as I put to death all of the things that you thought that you know. I'm tastefully unchanged and raised up. Got my chin up, I'm pent up, and oh so ready to go. Cause I'm running in the face of both and they say I'm born a better league. Gotta get my break till so take away. I'm here to break up the shit you bought. What's that you say? You're late to the game. What you gonna bring? Not gonna bend or break a bone. I won't fail or fall to go. Gonna take it and bring it home. Goddamn Superfly. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no money, but they treat me like I'm famous. Goddamn Superfly. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no money, but they treat me like I'm famous. Goddamn Superfly. I got the whole world in the palm of my hand. Not gonna let it go. Goddamn Superfly. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no money, but they treat me like I'm famous. World, not trying to be anything I'm not. I was born to be. It's my world. Not trying to be anything I'm not. I was born to be. It's my world. Not trying to be anything I'm not. I was born to be. It's my world. Not trying to be anything I'm not. I was born to be. It's my world. Not trying to be.
Superfly.
This is Matt from Super Bob. You're listening to Superfly on Honest Brutality.
I'd rather sell my soul to the devil than a man in a suit. At least his ass ain't gonna fucking lie to you. Do this, do that, next thing you know, you got a collar wrapped around your neck begging.
For a bowl like I'm an animal, more like I'm a cannibal. So I supply a bowl like Captain Cutting Cantaloupe. That just made me salivate like a fat fuck. Loves a cake when he masturbates. You're too fuck tyrannical, make me feel like Hannibal. I'ma systematically disassemble you in your dome. What the fuck? I can see you contemplating, put you rolling back and try to buy a man that's entertaining. Let these motherfuckers know who the fucking with. Let these motherfuckers know who the fucking with. Yeah. Let them know who the fucking with. It's a motherfucking status quo. Treat people like animals. Push you out, they rise up and attack us. They can't take no more. This is my sabbatical. This shit is unacceptable. Trapped inside of here, so where you line the buckets not your role. I can see your money talking, telling me to run I walk. You can take your strings attached and how you make yourself I can see you contemplate. Put your wallet back and buy another man to entertain. Let these motherfuckers know